Alright, traditional foods class today. We are at the Soitapi Community Hall in Laverne. And this is one of our projects here. Little deer we're going to take apart. The ladies, I think, are setting up in here for Bulberry jelly. Just waiting for everybody to roll in.
Top, it's a steam juicer, and then in here we're sterilizing the jars, so we'll put the water in there, but we also put a little bit of vinegar to keep the jars from staining. So once that boils, then we'll start putting the jars in. And then in the back we have the one for the lids, and these are the snap lids. You always gotta sterilize these, but you don't have to sterilize the twist rings. And so I'm going to put these in because the water's boiling, and we're going to boil them for about 10 minutes and then just leave them in the hot water. When they, and that'll just sterilize them, because you're going to sterilize anything that comes in contact with the food, just to make sure that it doesn't bring any bacteria in. You always have to have extra lids on hand in case one of these doesn't seal. So I do have some extra lids. Okay. Once this starts making juice, we're going to put it in here. And this pot has measurements on it, which is very important because you have to measure everything to make sure that your measurements are right when you put in the sugar and the pectin and stuff like that.
Okay. Do you twist gallbladder out?
I've never twisted anything out. No, I just reach in and pull everything out of there. You have to reach in and cut the diaphragm. There's always, like, right here you can see where it was already gutted. See this? That's part of the diaphragm. It goes across these, separates the intestines and kidney, liver, and such from the heart and lungs. And that part you have to cut. Right, you know, when you're getting in there, you cut that part, and then you reach in and cut for the lower part of the, I guess I don't know if you call it a trachea or whatever, that whole windpipe, food pipe apparatus up above the lungs, and then you can just pull the whole thing out. You also have to cut in the back and, you know, cut around the hole so that all of that comes out in one piece.
My next question, was it a Dodge or a Ford that hit you?
So what we're going to do is we're going to peel the skin off this way, and then we're going to flip them over and peel this other side off this way. And we're basically going to pretend like we're outside with this deer and try to work the deer without having it come off of the hide. The hide will kind of be like
our mat.
So I've peeled lots of deer, but somebody else here who's never done this before maybe could. The one thing is, you see this little membrane here? You want to separate that membrane, and if you're working with a knife, try to cut in toward the deer instead of out toward the hide. Like, a lot of it you can peel with your hands, eh? You don't even need a knife. You can peel just with your hands. But if you do have to cut, like, you'll come to tough spots, like, you know, you might have some really tough pieces. When you have to cut toward the deer, that way, because if you cut toward the hide, you'll nick the hide, and then the hide workers won't be able to.
It'll be useless.
When they tan the hide, it'll become a hole in the hide. It'll make the hide really thin. So this is a big problem when a lot of like the people that are trying to renew the hide tanning, they get hunters to bring them hides, but the hunters don't know what they're doing, and so they cut like this as they're moving in, and they end up really
So you
destroy the
cut
hide.
towards the,
Cut toward the deer itself. Eh?
But if you have the deer hanging upside down, you can just rip the hide off in one piece.
Yeah.
oh, you guys be careful. My buckskin dress, get it.
That's got beads.
So you just cut those off, is that what you said?
Yeah, just be careful when you come around that.
If it's a fresh kill, just cut them off right away. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's the easiest. Since it's so frozen. It's kind of
Yeah.
Just taking out the jars right now, because these ones are sterilized.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put them upside down so that they don't get anything in them. So if you want to take out the rest of the jars, and we'll take turns taking them out or whatever, and then we'll put in the next batch of jars.
Just where the juice goes in,
No, we're gonna put it into the pot after they're done taking out those
or it
jars
goes,
and putting in the new ones. Then we'll take out the juice.
it goes to the bottom of the pot,
No, the bottom has water in it,
or water.
and then the middle is where the juice collects, and then the top is where the berries go.
Water, then the berries.
You can feel the ribs here. You can kind of see them too, eh? Cut in along those rib bones to meet the cut you already made. That's the step one. Now you can do the other side. You should feel the bone on the side of that knife. All the way down to knocking on ribs. Meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much what we want to do at this point is just take the four legs off, and then we're going to go muscle by muscle, take these apart.
Pork rinds.
Be a witchy like me.
Yeah. Number $9. Really?
That big piece is gonna be $100.
So she went to
remember how milky white it was at the beginning? You just look at them now, it's a completely different color.